Hi, I'm Lara and I work here at Quinlan Fabish in Burr Ridge, Illinois. The tip today, we are going to talk about putting a reed on a mouthpiece. And this will be good for any of the clarinets and any of the saxophones. We are going to use a clarinet reed and a clarinet mouthpiece today, but again, it'll do. So, a few things. We want to talk about the reed. The reed plays best when it is wet. You can do this a couple of different ways. You can just use your mouth and wet it that way, or you can have like a small cup of room temperature water. Just be sure it's not too cold. Again, that'll negatively affect the way the reed performs for you. So I'm just going to use my mouth for today, and we're going to kind of do this together. We want about 15 to 20 seconds, a little bit longer than maybe you think it is. So here we go. And you always want to do the thicker end. There's a thinner end and a thicker end. The thicker end I like to do because it's going to help seal the reed against the flat part of the mouthpiece a little bit better for you. So I'll just do that really quickly. Okay, so the next thing, our reeds are really delicate. There's a tip which is really thin, and then there's the lower end, which is thicker. When I handle my reeds, I always handle them from the thicker part, avoiding getting any splits or cracks or even any little chips. Again, it's just gonna make playing a little bit more difficult for you. We wanna avoid that at all costs. So now we are gonna put the reed on the mouthpiece. So the flat part of the reed is going to go right on top of the flat part of the mouthpiece. You can kind of see there's a shiny part, that's the top, the flat part is the bottom. We're going to put that against the mouthpiece. And what I do first, this might be a little different than what you're used to, but what I like to do so that I can avoid getting any chips or anything at the tip of the reed is I put my ligature on first. I loosen the screw or screws if you have two, and it can move up and down. I'm right-handed, so I'm doing this with my left hand so I can hold the reed with my right, but it would work either way. So you can see I'm kind of lifting this up and down, it's loose, and I'm just going to bring it up so that I can slide the reed right on top of the flat part of the mouthpiece. I'm going to do this exactly at the same time, simultaneously. So I'm going to slide the reed down into place, and I'm going to also bring the ligature down. This is going to take a little practice, especially for beginners, but even for people who have been playing for a couple of years, continue to practice. It takes time, and that's good. All right, so now I'm getting the ligature into place. This is what holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. And I want to make sure that I'm just using the side rails or this bottom thicker part of the reed. I'm avoiding touching the tip. I want to line it up just right. I'm using my thumb, really light touch. And once I have it all set up, I look at the bottom, make sure it's lined in the center. I can bring the ligature down a little bit, just below that little filed part, or if you don't have that line, just below where the color starts to change to a little bit darker on the reed. And then I put my finger behind it. I can see that the reed is up to the edge of the mouthpiece. We don't want it too far over, and we don't want it too low. We want it lined up just right so it makes the best sound for you. The reed works together with the mouthpiece to produce vibrations, and when you blow your air into the instrument, that's what gives us our sound, when they all work together. So then I'm going to tighten my ligature screw just a little bit. We just want it to be snug so that when you put this onto your instrument, it doesn't move all around. We don't want it to be too tight. Again, that'll negatively affect the sound that you produce. So once you have that all together, it's perfectly lined up in the center and at the bottom. You are ready to play, you're ready to practice, you're ready to make all of your good sounds for today. And also, just as an example, alto saxophone mouthpiece, set up exactly the same way, reed centered, make sure you wet your reed, and you're all set for the day. Get to practicing, have fun, and I'll see you again.